Sportscast here, all a part of the Outspoken Network, and we'll get into that a little bit later at the end of the show. What the changes that are coming in a good way to this podcast show. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day, but a show for you today. We got the NFL Week top 9 games. I'm going to give you the top games of Week, not 9 games. There's not probably 9 good games you can find. So the top games of Week 9. I'm going to go on an apology tour a little bit here. I think we all should look back and figure out who we need to apologize with from our horrible takes this season. Got the NCAA schedule, headlines of the week, and of course, what's in my locker, guys. Right after this. All right, guys. All right, welcome in. It's episode 166. The apology tour has started. Welcome in. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to listen to this podcast or watch our live stream. I'm going to jump in real quick here to the NFL Week 9, the top games of Week 9 in the NFL. And there's some weeks where you find out there's a bunch of good games that on paper, there's a lot of things on paper, right, that should be good games. And sometimes they don't turn out that way, right? Sometimes, like the season, a lot of things has been turned on its head because of the crazy teams that have been winning out of nowhere. The teams that were good last year are really bad this year. And so on paper, these games look decent. So you got the Buffalo Bills at the Jets. And the Jets have been surprisingly pretty good this season. They've had some ups and downs. We're getting, they're getting the quarterback back in Wilson, and he's had some games where you're like, okay, he looks pretty good. He had a game last week where he did not look so good. He threw a couple interceptions, and the defense of the Patriots really got to him. So he's gonna have to play better if they want to beat the Buffalo Bills. Now the Jets defense has been really outstanding this season, and needs a lot of credit. And this coaching staff and the draft that they had. Getting Sauce Gardner and getting guys in that know how to play some football. So if they can get Wilson playing good, they've got a chance. They stopped the Green Bay Packers when they played them. Buffalo is on pretty much a hot streak. They didn't play so well against Green Bay last week in the second half. They've got to come out and put two halves together. They still beat Green Bay because Green Bay is not very good. But this game to me it's time for the Jets to show up and prove what changes do they want to make. What this could change how we see the Jets will be if they go and beat Buffalo at home. It's going to be a tall task. I'd still pick Buffalo to win this game, but I'm interested to see if the Jets can hold their own at home against the division rival. So we'll see if they can keep that close or not. Now, Seattle travels to Arizona, and I put this one on the map because I want to see if Seattle is going to continue to play well or not. Geno Smith's been having a good season. We all thought this team was going to be bottom of the barrel, and they've come out and they're leading their division. I believe last time I looked, they were leading their division, but they're playing a lot better than most people thought, including myself, and they might be in that. They might be in the apology tour coming up in a minute. Yes, they are leading their division at 5-3. So Arizona's looking to bounce back. They have had a very poor season given what they did last season. I've always thought they were overhyped. I'm not a big Kyle Murray fan. There's a lot of problems behind the scenes there that have been put out into public over the off season, and that stuff's coming out for the whole world to see. They're not playing really well, and I think Cliff Kingsbury at the end of the season will find himself the door because they just paid their quarterback, and they're not going to be letting him go. So I picked Seattle to win this game. I do not believe that Arizona is going to be able to get the job done. Why is my phone going off? Okay. You got the Rams at Tampa, and this one, last season, this one had a lot of clout. You had the Rams were doing really good. Tom Brady, they were playing up to their level. This could still be a good football game. They both have been pretty bad this season. The Rams have not looked like the Rams. You got to wonder if that's, his shoulder, if that's Matthew Stafford's shoulder there or not. Sorry, we do have a message here. You got to wonder if that's the Matthew Stafford shoulder. Outspoken Network. Derpy 501 first. Yes. Yeah, I'll talk about that at the end of the show. We're kind of changing up some stuff here on the podcast, but don't know what you mean, buddy, but you've got to wonder though if Matthew Stafford's shoulders hurting him. That's why he's not throwing the ball. Why the offenses look a little sluggish. And then Tampa Bay, you got, Tampa Bay's been absolutely bad this season. They've got talent. Movie reference. Okay, I was like, wait, what? What movie is that from? I must not have seen it. I don't know. Thank you, Dirt, for joining the show, though. Appreciate your time. But Tampa Bay has been very, very bad this year. I don't know if it's their new head coach. This is the same team they had last season. You got to wonder why they're not. Is it just why they're not, as good as they were last year? Is it Tom Brady falling off? Is it this offensive line? It has probably a lot to do with his offensive line not being able to protect him. Is it the head coach? Could we see him gone next season? I'm not sure if he's going to be around. And does Tom Brady retire? His wife is forcing him. That sucks for him and his family, but what does he stay around? He says retirement's not in his is not in his near future, but I don't know. What else has he got left in the tank? Is his offensive line that bad? I don't know, but this might be a good game. It could be. Two struggling teams. It's a sports reference. Okay, for absolutely nothing. This was I must have not seen the movie, brother. What's your favorite sports movie? Conor McGregor. Okay. I got you now. I think we're in par now. What's your favorite sports movie, by the way? I love Remember the Titans. My favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of all time is Remember the Titans, but I digress. You have Packers and Lions, and the only reason I put this on here is because the Lions play the Packers well every year, and this is a must-win game for the Packers, in my opinion, if they want to keep their season alive. There's so many good. Yep, there's plenty of good movies out there. I'm a big movie guy myself. The wife is too. We like to watch a lot of movies. I'm just not really good at remembering those lines, unless it's Remember the Titans. I remember those. I could quote you that movie verbatim, pretty much. But getting back to this, the Packers is a must win for the Packers. They've got to win this game. They want their season to be on par. We play the Cowboys the week after. Cowboys coming off a bye. That's a big week for me because I'm in Texas. I live in Fort Worth. I have a lot of Cowboy fans as friends. They're coming over. And it's probably not going to be a fun game for me to watch. I think the Packers probably lose that one. But with Aaron Rodgers, it all starts this Sunday. We've got to win this game. It's a must-win. The Lions do play us well. They do have a lot of injuries on that team, and they don't know how to win. And a lot of people think this is for sure. I cannot talk tonight. A for-shire win. There, but they think it's automatic, and nothing's automatic with this team. If you watch the Green Packers play this season, nothing's automatic. And I got the Chargers in Atlanta, and I put this on here. Atlanta's played pretty well this season. They've played pretty well. They played up to their talent, and they've also played down to the talent. But they were able to beat Panthers last week because of DJ Moore taking off his helmet and slamming it on the ground, and their kicker stinks. But they've been playing pretty good. They've been fighting pretty good with the teams. The Chargers are probably going to lose their head coach after the season. This team's too talented to be as bad as they are. They're so inconsistent. I got a buddy that's a Chargers fan, and that drives him so crazy. And I would be the same if I was a Chargers fan. They're second in their division. They're 4-3. The division's still up for grabs there, as most are right now. But they're only one game back from Kansas City, so that they're not too far off if they can turn it around and put some wins here together. But those are my top games of Week 9. There's not a whole lot on the schedule. I'm really looking forward to the Buffalo Jets game. The Buffalo going to the Jets. I really feel like they should. I'm wondering if the Jets will show us what they're made of. If they're gonna say, okay, this Jets team may be for real, or if this is one where we're gonna have to look at it and go, I don't think so. Okay, all right. He gave me a list. Hoosiers, remember the Titans, Glory Road, Coach Carter, and the Sandlot are my favorites, but not top 5 all time. Awesome. Those are some fantastic sports movies. Sandlot is one of my favorite sports movies. It's a classic around here. Remember the Titans is one of my favorite of all time. Some good movies you got there. It all depends. That's why movies are great. Everyone has their own opinion. You like different ones. I like different ones. Some like different genres and all that good stuff. But those are some good movies you listed off there. I'm a big Denzel Washington fan, so basically anything Denzel Washington I will watch because he's fantastic. Only one that makes your top 5 is Hoosiers. It's hard to have a top list of movies because there's so many and so many fantastic ones that it's hard to have that list. But they're out there. I mean, people have those lists. They're their favorite movies of all time. It's time for the apology tour. I got to apologize to some people, some teams, maybe some people, and a head coach because I killed these guys. Not really Geno Smith. I have Geno Smith on here, and it's not really an apology for that I need to make to Geno Smith. The NFL needs to apologize to Geno Smith. This guy was written off. He was drafted by the Jets. He played two seasons with the Jets, who were a bad football team at the time. But they really didn't have another shot. And now he's getting a shot in Seattle, and he's playing pretty well. He's got the team winning their division. So let's not be so harsh on Geno Smith. It's interesting to see, though, that players that get drafted high, you have high expectations, obviously. But when they go to a different team because it didn't work out and they start succeeding there, you kind of wonder if it was the head coach, was it the organization, what was going on? Is he just more mature now in a sport where he knows more things? But he's looking pretty good this season, Geno Smith, and I think the NFL owes him a little bit of an apology. Pete Carroll, I bash Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll to me is one of. I've always thought is not a very good coach. Their organization drafted a really good defense, and he is a defensive. I'm going to run the ball, and I'm going to hit you hard in the mouth on defense, and that doesn't win a lot of football games usually. He had the Legion of Boom that got him a Super Bowl. They went back to the Super Bowl. He decided not to run the ball on the 1-yard line with Marshawn Lynch, and I just don't like his coaching style. But he's got the Seattle Seahawks winning. And we all thought when Russell Wilson got traded away to Denver that the Seattle Seahawks would be bottom of the barrel. I thought they would be the bottom 5 team in the league, and they are surprising a lot of folks out there. So I got to give an apology to Pete Carroll. Okay, there's one more guy I got to give an apology to. That's Jalen Hurts. He was decent in college. He played pretty good there. I did not think he would translate well. His first year in the NFL did not go too great. He's killing it this year. And he's not trying to do too much. He's throwing the ball downfield better. He's making accurate throws in the air. It helps that they went out and got him a great wide receiver and AJ Brown, and this offense and this team is looking really good. And I counted this guy out. I trust Jalen Hurts more than I trust Lamar Jackson. I'm not a big believer in Lamar Jackson. I think he's more of a running back than a quarterback. I don't think he is a guy that's ever going to take this team to the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying Hurts will. I'm not saying Hurts is going to go to the Super Bowl, but I got to take back. I got to take back some of the bad stuff I'm not really bad. I've been out here killing Hurts, but I just don't think I didn't think he had it in him. And this year, this team believes in him. He's a leader. This team's playing really well for him, and they have a certain style that they play, and it works well. And that's what good head coaches do. They don't try and force their style on a quarterback. They work with what quarterback works, the quarterback strengths. And I think that's why the Giants up in New York are having some success this year. We all counted off Daniel Jones, and I don't think he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But Brian Daboll's done a fantastic job of going into New York and saying, hey, this is not his strengths. His strengths aren't a pocket passer. His strengths aren't this. We're going to work with what he's got and go from there. I don't think they sign him back, but maybe this season they might. I don't know. It could give this head coach because their record's better than they thought they would be, right? The New York Giants, that this record would maybe, and I'm guessing the Dallas Cowboy fans and the Eagles and Washington are like, hopefully they do sign him back, because he's not a good quarterback. But to me, that's just good coaching there to get this team where it is. So, but that's the apology tour. I want you guys to think about the sports opinions you have and go in there and figure out who you need to start writing that apology letter to at the end of the year, because so far I got those three on my list. Two actually, Pete Carroll and Hurts. I'm not owning on Geno Smith. I never really cared or killed him. Let's see. We got another list from Derps 501. We got number 5, Caddyshack. 4, Major League. 3, Rocky. 2, Field of Dreams. 1, Hoosiers is my all-time 5 honorable mentions. White Man Can't Jump, and Any Given Sunday, and Bad News Bears. Good list there. Good list. He says you can probably replace Caddyshack with Any Given Sunday, though. I have it there because it's a big comedy movie. I'm a big comedy movie guy. Yes, I love comedy movies as well. Probably my favorite genre. That's a good list. I like Caddyshack's hilarious, fantastic movie. Major League, great. Rockies, the Rocky series is pretty good. Field of Dreams, fantastic. Hoosiers, I can't even say the word. Hoosiers is really good as well. There's a lot of good movies out there, man. A lot of good movies. Me and Dirt got on a little bit of a movie conversation here, and I'm enjoying it. Let's see. Derp, I got to ask you a question. Do you like scary movies? There's not a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people like scary movies much anymore. But why I'm waiting on that answer here, we're going to go into the NCAA schedule. We try and cover a little bit of everything here on the Outspoken Sportscast. But we've got some good games this weekend, guys. If you can't find it in the NFL, you can find it in college. The game, this is a must-watch game if you're a college football fan. And I'm a TCU fan. When it comes to college football, I'll watch just about any matchup. I usually turn on Saturday and find the best matchups I can and watch that. TCU's playing, I'll catch them. And then I'll turn on the night game and see what's going on. But, sorry, I might have the wife bring me some water because I didn't get a drink and my voice will go out if I don't. But I digress. This is a must-watch game. I'm making plans around this game on Tuesday that I'm home. I'm able to watch this game. It is number 1 Tennessee versus number 3 Georgia. This is at Georgia at 2:30 on CBS. Fantastic game. Now look, Tennessee bumped up to number 1. They did the polls, the first playoff poll last night, no, Tuesday night, and Tennessee jumped all the way to number 1. Georgia at 3, Ohio State 2. Bama's out of the top 5. They're number 6. So, sorry, let me send that text real quick, because if I don't, my voice is going to kill me. But Tennessee, I really like this team. I think they are fantastic. They're playing really, really good at football there. The offense is rolling. This defense is pretty good. They could play better. The defense could play better. Their offense has been really good. And that game against Alabama, instant classic there. Instant classic. But Georgia's not as good as they were last season. The defense of Georgia was elite. Their quarterback really came out and played really well last year. Their defense is playing good. They're not as elite as they were last year. This offense is taking a little bit of a step back. I think Tennessee wins this one in Georgia. I think they remain number 1, but they look to be like a very scary football team. Going back to the question here, I asked Derp if he liked scary movies. So if they're written well, yes. Cough, cough. Bad example is the new Halloween trilogy from 2018. Kills and 2018 kills and ends it's laughable. Now that's a lie. A lot. See, I hear that. A lot of those scary movies are not. They're just not good anymore, and it's hard to find some good ones. Me and the wife went and saw that movie Smile, and I actually thought it was pretty good for a scary movie. Yeah, it was pretty creepy. Made me jump a couple times. I thought the story was well written. It's hard to find a well-written story. So if you haven't seen that one, go see it. I've heard a lot of good things about The Black Phone. I really want to watch that as well. That's on streaming, if I'm not mistaken. So I need to sit down and watch those. It's hard to find the time, though, because I got 4 kiddos that aren't able to watch those scary movies. They're not old enough yet. So, but I'm on vacation coming up this week. Get into that in a little bit as well. But The Black Phone, I need to mark that down and make sure I watch it. That one's got a lot of good reviews. But go watch Smile. Smile is really good. Back to the NCAA schedule here, guys. Number 6 Alabama goes to number 10 LSU, and this is going to be an interesting one. It's at 6 p.m. on ESPN. A lot of things happen in LSU. You got Brian Kelly there moving over from Notre Dame, looking to upset Bama. Number 10, they've got LSU number 10. They weren't so high off when they first started. They started off a little slow. They're kind of getting the momentum going. And Bama's lost the game already to Tennessee. It wasn't a bad loss. It was to Tennessee. It was an instant classic. If you can go find that game, I got it saved on my DVR. I'm not deleting that game because it's the best game I will watch probably all year from both NCAA and but it's a classic. Can LSU beat Bama? Sure, yes, they can. Will they? I don't think they will. Bama's got to get back on the winning track. They dropped to number 6. They've got to get back into showing that they're the powerhouse, showing that they're the contention. And at the end of the year, they want to be in a good position to be put back into the playoffs. Number 24, Texas travels to 13, Kansas State. Not a number 24. That's not very good, Texas. Sorry, it's not good there ranking. I know you've had some injuries at the quarterback position this year. But Kansas number 13, TCU just beat them, and Texas has to play TCU. It's going to be a good comparison. If you can beat Kansas, maybe you'll be able to beat TCU, but we shall see. This one should be pretty good. That's at Kansas State, 6 p.m. on FS1. Number 4, Clemson goes to Notre Dame at 6:30 on NBC, and Clemson should handle business here. Notre Dame has not had the start they wanted. Excuse me. To their season, not at all. Looking looking for an upset, obviously, if they win, but I don't think it's going to be done. I don't think they got the team over Notre Dame there. Notre Dame's always been one of those teams to me that's been overrated, and they got a new head coach. It's been really bad there. Their quarterback's been hurt. I'm written Notre Dame off, and Clemson should get an easy win. Cal travels to number 9 USC. USC should win that one pretty big, and then number 21 Wake Forest travels to North Carolina State at number 22, and they play. Those are the last two I mentioned are night games, so those should be pretty good games there. Let's jump into the headlines, guys. Let's jump into the headlines of the week. Right after this. All right. Astros take a 3-2 lead last night as they actually win the game 3-2. They go back up in the series. And look, this has been a better series than I thought. I thought the Astros was going to come in here and dominate it. But the Phillies have been battling. And that's what I'm going to tell them. Keep battling. No one wants to see the Houston Astros win a championship. No one wants to see it. They cheated their first way there. They probably cheated this way here. There's a book coming out talking about how the Astros continue to cheat after 2017. I'm interested to probably be my next read. And I was starting to give up on the cheating part of it. But there's been more stuff coming out, and I just can't give it up. Astros cheated. No one wants them to win. A lot of people hate the Astros for that. And I get it. A lot of people are going to go, well, everyone cheats. They just got caught. They took it to a different level. Stealing signs naturally in Major League Baseball is fine. If the pitcher's tipping his cap, or the other day the pitcher was the Astros, his leg would go up higher when he was throwing a off speed pitch, and then lower on his on the mound. He would go lower when he was throwing a fastball. So they were able to pick up on that. That's a natural way to get it done, right? That's a natural way of finding out what they're going to throw you, and gave an advantage to the Phillies, and that's called smart baseball. Not buzzers, not a trash can, banging, not any of that. That's called cheating. So I'm not giving up on it. No one wants the Astros to win unless you're an Astros fan and live in Houston. I just don't know they're going to be able to come back from down but 3-2. I just don't know if they will. I hope they do. But I don't think they will. I think Astros will win it. Now, probably goes to 7. I think Phillies might win the next game, but it probably goes to 7. And let me see what that next game is, because I know they had a rain delay. I know it caused them. I know it caused them a day off. Oh, they play. The next game is tomorrow night on Fox. So in Houston, it's going to take a lot for Philadelphia to win this game, and I think if they win it, it'll go back to Philly, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to have to catch that game and see what happens. But no one wants the Astros to win. They're cheaters. Don't like them. Let's see other headlines here. Kyrie Irving suspended 5 games after his anti-Semitic tweet. I don't even know what he tweeted. I don't even want to get into really the things behind it, but what a dumpster fire the organization's been. They went out and traded for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. We all thought Brooklyn Nets was going to be this fantastic organization. They hired Steve Nash. It all fell apart. Kyrie Irving doesn't get vaccinated, which I have no problem with him not getting vaccinated. It's his body, his choice. The rules say he couldn't play. He didn't play in half the games last year, and then he comes out this year and able to play. They have an off season of Kevin Durant demands out. Are they going to trade Kyrie Irving? Are they not going to trade Kyrie Irving? Are they going to trade Kevin Durant? There's reports that Kyrie Irving has disrespected Steve Nash. I just don't understand how they can work together anymore. It just doesn't add up. They start off 3-5. The owner said, "Hey, we're not firing our coach and we're not firing anybody, and we're keeping our GM. We're not firing our head coach. Deal with it." Then they all meet, and then you're like, "Okay, we're gonna be able to play together." They start off 3-5. They fire Kyrie. They fire Steve Nash. They're supposedly bringing in a Doku, which Craig told me was a done deal on Tuesday, but it's not a done deal. They kind of threw that out there to kind of get some feelers, and a lot of people said, "Hey, this is not right. This guy's been suspended over here for by the Boston Celtics for doing some shady stuff in their organization as far as his relationship status goes." And then you got Kyrie Irving tweeting out something that I don't even know what he said. I don't pay much attention to Kyrie Irving. I think he's he's just off the wall. Cancer in any locker room he goes to. Would never want him on my team type player. He's suspended 5 games. Then they're going to go from there. But this has just been a dumpster fire. I bet the Brooklyn Nets fans are probably fed up with it. Getting 2 superstars like that, you think that's going to equal you wins, but not with these two. Apparently, that's not. I could see at the end of the year they were doing the same thing. I want out. I want out. I want out. So we're going to go from there. But let me use some of Jeff. I got to give a shout out to Jeff real quick. He hasn't been on the podcast in a while, but he does all of the graphics videos, and he made a new NBA video. I'm going to play real quick because we're going to get into an NBA update. So let's go ahead and throw this up. All right. It's a little early in the NBA season still. There's only been 7 or 8 games played. The Bucks lead the East. They 7-0. They haven't lost a game this season. They look strong. Giannis is out there just beasting it up like he usually does. Playing some good basketball out there, and we'll see if they can continue strong. They're going to be one of the best teams in the East, and I think they probably number 1. The Cavs left off where they did last year. The Cavs were a surprising team last year. No one thought they would be all that good. They played really well last year. Won more games than most people thought. They started off to 6-1 start. Really good for them. In the East, in the West, the Suns hold number 1 through 7 games. They're 6-1. They continue to just play really good basketball. I really like the head coach they have over there and what he's been able to do with his team. Jazz are 6-3. They traded away everybody. How do they winning games? They're 6-3. They look to be just decent. And sometimes when you get those star players off your team, and you don't have those egos anymore, you're able to just play team basketball. And sometimes that works out and wins you a lot of games that most people thought you shouldn't have won. Mavs started off slow this year. They're 4-3. They're trying to figure out how to put this team together. They're trying to figure out how to use Christian Wood and how he's going to mold with his team. He hasn't been on the court to end these games because of, I guess, his defense. And now this is a bone I got to pick with Jason Kidd. And I got to give Jason Kidd some mad props. When he left the Bucks and he went to the Lakers, everyone there seemed to love him. There were some horror stories that came from Milwaukee. Then the Jason Kidd took over Dallas last season, and there's been nothing but good things said about him. Right? Everyone loves him. Him and Luka get along. They play the same position. They're going to be able to have some of the same discussions and same vision on the court. And they've been asking, though, Jason Kidd in the beginning of the season, why is Wood not been out there closing these games out? Why has Wood not been out there? That's been like, why is he not out there? I don't understand why he's not out there. Well, the other night he puts him out there to close the game out. They blow a 16-point lead and lose in overtime. And Jason Kidd's like, aren't you going to ask me the question? Aren't you going to ask me the question? You've been consistent with it. This is why Wood's not been out there. And it's just I think it's just a really crappy way to go about it. I think that um, that if you're Jason Kidd, it's just really crappy. And you first of all, you gave in to pressure from the media or pressure from fan base or whatever. And then when you said it didn't work, haha, there you go. I showed you this is why now let me do things. I think that's this really arrogant, crappy way to handle things. And you lost a game because of it. And if you knew it was going to cost you a game, then why was he out there? Just trying to prove a point. Let his ego get a hold of him there a little bit too much. And I really didn't like what he had to say after that. So um, it wasn't what he had to say about that matter. It just rubbed me the wrong way the other day being a fan of Dallas. But we'll see if they can get this back on because Luka's been having a dominant season. Absolute star-studded dominant season. And this team is 4-3. And that's not good when your star is pitting at the numbers that he is and you're not winning. You didn't start off very strong. You're 4-3. You blew a 16-point lead the other night to the Oklahoma Thunder. Team when it was crazy. Teams that had a 16-point lead with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter were like 9,995 to 1. Now they're 9,995 and 2 because the Dallas Mavericks lost. That's some NBA update for you there. We're pretty early in the season to really break or go into anything. So, all right, guys. Well, it's just me this week on Friday. So, Friday shows are a little bit smaller when it's just me because it's just me talking, and I try and fill as much time as I can. We have the "What's in My Locker" segment right now, and this is where at the end of each show we tell you what's in our locker, and that's just a little bit behind the scenes of our show outside of the podcast where you get to know us a little bit. But I start vacation this week. Fantastic. Super excited about that. It's more of a staycation. The kids are still in school. We're not doing anything as far as going out of town. We'll go eat at a couple places we want to. It's also my wife's birthday. And y'all can let me know if this is weird or not. But some people think it's weird. I don't know. She's a stay-at-home mom. She works one day a week on Saturday when I'm off. She's a stay-at-home mom, and it's a draining job. The kids drive her crazy. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know how you do it. The kids drive me crazy. And I'm just here on Saturday or whatever. Or when I get home, I'm like, man, these kids. And our kids are pretty well behaved. So, but every year for her birthday's on the 11th of November. It always falls on Veterans Day. Every year I get her a hotel room. She likes to go to a hotel room for a couple of days where she doesn't have to be touched by children. She can eat whatever food she wants. She can go to sleep when she wants. She can sleep as late as she wants. Do whatever she wants. I'm gonna be here with the kids, obviously, but so that's for her birthday. It's her birthday on the 11th, and that's what she likes to do. So she's gonna go out with her friends, have a good time for her birthday, and that's usually what we do for the birthday month for her. So we got that going on. So vacation. It's gonna be the staycation. I'm able to stay up and watch not video games. I'm gonna stay up and play video games. I gotta get playing that Call of Duty back. I haven't played it in a little bit, but I'll be able to stay up and watch sporting events. You got the Mavs game tonight, the World Series game tomorrow. Kat says that's so sweet. Well, thank you, Kat. Thank you. Yeah, that's what she does. I don't know if that's normal for most women that want to do that. I don't know, but it's just a little break from the kids, and she gets to just do whatever she wants. So it works for her. It works for me. So I usually try and get a vacation around that time so I can do that for her every year. But just vacation, baby. It's like, but me and Craig, I met Craig at my job, and Craig, he's a co-host on here, or a host on here, sorry. And we work crazy hours. I go to bed about 7 every night. I get up about 1:15, 1:20 in the morning to go to work, do my job, and come home. So I don't have much of a nightlife, but Kat says that would be awesome. I'm gonna lie. Kat, do you have children? Let me ask you that question if you don't mind. I got 4 girls. I got 4 beautiful girls. One's 9, one's 6, well, she'll turn 7 in February. One that's about to be 5 this month as well, and then I got another one that is 3.5. So they're very young still, very little, and I'm trying to keep them that way because life's going too fast for me. But Saturday plans. My Saturday plans. Oh, she's got 2. She's got one girl and one boy. Girl 16, my boy is 1. Awesome. That's a big difference in their age. Now we wanted ours to kind of be close, so they close together. And the 4th one was kind of a surprise. We were like, do we want a 4th one? It just kind of happened. But obviously now she's here. We're blessed. But that sounds awesome, Kat. Let me know how the teenage years go, because everyone's telling me the teenage years are the roughest, and I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm gonna need a lot of advice on that. And but my Saturday plans are around that Tennessee football game. I usually get up. I usually go shopping on Saturday for the groceries for the week. I'll do that, and then clean the house. I get the girls. They got to clean up their rooms and stuff on Saturday before they do anything else. And then I'll watch that game. I got my wife's best friend her name's Amber, and she's also a good friend of mine. We're basically family. Her son Logan's 16. He's recently divorced, but he comes over a lot. I kind of feel like he's a son, basically. But he's gonna come over Saturday, hang out with me, probably watch the game. We'll probably play some cornhole, some different games around the house, and then Call of Duty. Of course, he loves to play Call of Duty. He's gonna spend the night. We'll Call of Duty it up on Saturday night and just have a good old time there. And then so get out and vote, guys. Get out and vote. We're not political on the show. We don't talk politics, but I think it's very important to get out and vote. And I did it on Thursday. I went out and voted for who I wanted to be the governor of Texas. And very important. If you're not going to go vote, then you can't complain when your guy's not picked. So go out and vote. Do your duty. Get it done. Early voting, I think. I don't know if it might have ended this week, but if not, you can still vote later on. Get registered and go do your due diligence and get out there. But I voted on Thursday. All right, guys. Well, the Outspoken Sportscast. We're working on some stuff. We're trying to change some things up here for the good, for the better. Don't you worry. Give you guys more content. But if you might see the change on our YouTube channel. We're going to change the YouTube to the Outspoken Network. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to do more than just sports. Of course, this sportscast is our bread and butter. It's the thing we're going to keep doing no matter what. But if you go on our YouTube channel at Outspoken, the Outspoken Network, you'll be able to see a playlist, and the playlist will be Outspoken Sportscast. We've got solo shots. We have Craig's hockey hat trick, and we're going to have another one soon. I'm coming on Tuesday night. I'm not going to live feed it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a podcast where I bring on some buddies of mine that don't really care about sports, or they're not, some do, some don't, but talk about life, get to know me a little bit more personally, get to know my friends, and maybe do it every once in a while, every couple months. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Outspoken something, obviously, to go with the brand. But look forward to that on Tuesday. We're doing that with my good buddy, Andrew Klein. And we're going to talk about life in general and get to know him a little bit more, or know him and know me a little bit more, maybe. But that's what we're doing. So we're trying to branch out a little bit. I know Jeff eventually, when he has the time for it, wants to do a video game podcast. Me and him both really like video games. So we're trying to just create the thing and give out as much as we can. Now, the Outspoken Sportscast is obviously going to be about sports. Solo shots or more if I get on here, or Craig or Jeff get on here and talk about a subject they just want to give a little more detail into, or that we haven't talked about on the show. They want to talk about. Those are going to be shorter clips, 10-minute clips, 15-minute clips. And then you got his Craig's going to start. He's already started it. He wasn't able to do one this week, but he's going to do a weekly NHL show because there's so much sports going on. We don't really have time to cram it all in one episode. But that's what's happening, guys. The Outspoken Network. Look for it. If you wouldn't mind, go on YouTube and subscribing. We're trying to get some followers on there so we can use our URL and making let's kick it off is what we're trying to do. So we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you, Kat and Dirk coming on here, and Kat's been on here on the regular. Thank you, Kat, for sharing that your personal stuff with us with your kiddos there, and looking forward to get to know some of you people. So very sociable person. I like to get to know people. I'm a social butterfly, if you might say, and talk stories and just have a good old time. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Kat. Appreciate you, Derp. And I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll be on Tuesday with Craig, and then I'll be on next Friday as well, and hopefully be able to do some more in between. Now I'm on vacation. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on from here. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your time. God bless. And remember, keep it outspoken.